See if I can do you a fairly quick video on how I was doing it. Basically, over here on your program, if I go to the Rogue, and you can reset them all if you want. Obviously, I don't have any of them checked, with the exception of the last two Rogue positions, and just a couple binary positions, the F and G. This is basically my setup for tonight. This gives you, I don't remember what it was, it's like 32 numbers. But because today's number was a 692, I'm only looking for numbers that have a 6, 9, or a 2. So there'd be 1, 2, 3, there's a 692, I wouldn't even play that, but 3, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 numbers out of the 32, I think, that is right here. But what I do, basically, what I'm looking for is, I'm going to start off with my Rogue positions. So if I go over here to the Draws tab, like I said before, I'm going to look and see kind of what's missing in each of these positions, and then decide on what I'm going to play at that point in time. Like this column right here, the 3 is the most out. Over here, the 1 is the most out. All 4 of them hit here, all 4 of them hit right there, and all 4 of them hit, basically right there. So the only ones that are giving me a good out is these 2 positions right here. I'm going to go with a 3 in this position and a 1 in this position. That's just my choice on, or how I'm going to do it. Now, if I wanted to look at something else, I could see what follows 2 2s, or see what follows a 3 2 2, or 2 2s. Here, a 3 2 2. I could put a 1 there. Keep going down until you find another 3 2 2 to see what follows it. Of course, that don't always mean a whole lot, but sometimes it works. I don't see a whole lot of them, so I try to stay away from when they get back-to-back numbers like that, because it can follow again, as another 2. You just, unless you can see a pattern of, like here, a 0 2 2, there's a 0 2 2 and a 3 followed. So unless you see definite patterns on something to that effect, looking for a 0 2 2 down the list, a 0 2 2, a 1 followed. So unless you can see something definite, I try to stay away from the ones that are basically already looking at a double. Over here, in this particular position, I would probably venture to say, because the 2s are hot, they've been hot over here, and then they went hot over here, I'd venture to say that position 3 right there, would probably be a 2. So you could probably go over here to position 3 and make it a 2. And that knocked it down to 15 sets, with only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them being qualifiers. If you want to go ahead and run that wild, you only have 2 options because of the previous inputs. But if you wanted to, you could go over here to the other part that was added. I do like these. I think you'll end up getting probably 2 odd numbers tonight, so you can knock that down and knock it down to 12 sets. Out of them 12 sets, there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets to play. out of them 12. So that's another way to do it. But as far as the binary numbers, this is something that Serge sent me on binary numbers. He put one together with just basically binary numbers, and basically breaking it down into pairs. I kind of like the F and the G, so it'd be A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So these two columns right here, I seem to hit the most anytime that I'm doing, if I lay out my selection up here as all of them, I seem to hit these two here the most. In this particular case, I'd put a 0 right here, and I'd put a 1 right there. So in the F and G, I'm going to go with the 0 and the 1. That should be a 0, 0 and a 1 is my decisions there. And then 3 and a 1 in my rogue positions. And then because I said I think there's going to be 2 odd numbers, so I threw the odd number in. I'll leave the rest of them wild. I'm not real sure what the T1 divided by 1 or the T0 divided by 0. I'm not real sure what that is. But that would knock down a few sets too. But according to my criteria on playing numbers that have at least one repeat from the previous draw, like I said, 692 was our midday. So I would play the 205, 429, 461, 525, and the 909. Basically 5 plays. I'd play them $5 straight, play them $5 boxed. That way if I'm spending $10, if it does hit, I'm going to win $580 on a $10 bet. So basically that's kind of what I'm looking at. Like I said, the binary number. I just pick a couple of them and it ain't necessarily the F and the G. I just happen to hit them 2 columns the most. You can see other ones that, like the A, B, C, D column right here, that's probably going to be a 1. Because if you look at the past history, rarely does more than 3 in a row hit. You can see that it just doesn't happen. And we've had 3 in a row right here, 3 in a row right here. So I could go over there to the D column and say that that was going to be a 1 also. There, I've got 3 numbers to play, and now only 2 of them qualify. So I could play them combos at $6 a piece, and if that number comes up in any order, obviously I'm going to win $500, but that'd be a $12 bet. So I don't see why I would want to do that versus having both of them in there and just playing them 5 that qualify. So that's kind of my setup right there. Is how I'm choosing, whenever I have more numbers, if I wanted to put in or do away with the odd over here and let it run all of them, it's 31 numbers. Out of them 31 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 numbers would qualify with having a 6, 9, or a 2. So 18 numbers would qualify, and then again I could knock that down if I wanted to run back over here. Pretty sure a 1's going to hit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 numbers. There's your 10 numbers right there. So let's see what that set of 10 numbers does for tonight. Like I said, I'd only be playing the 10 that have the 6, 9, or a 2 in it, and go from there. But that's basically my setup. So if you have any better suggestions or anything, let me know. And then, like I said, I'm not sure what these last two are. I'm not sure what the T11 or the TOO is. And then the bin binary one, or I'm not real sure exactly. Is that how many ones are going to be in it? If you look at this over here, he's got a count of the ones, or how many times a one's hit versus a zero. And if you put in the 55, it highlights the 55. Obviously, they've hit several times in a row. But if you look down through here, a lot of times it's either going to be a 4 or a 6. So I could go back over here in the bin and just highlight the 4 and the 6, and that's going to knock me down to 7 numbers. Play all them 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, or just them 4 numbers to knock it down a little bit further. But it's either going to be a 4 or a 6. I'm normally pretty good at hitting that too, at figuring out how many ones there's going to be, just because I can follow this count right here. And it's, you scroll down through here, and every time a 55, it's either a 4 or a 6. A lot of times 4 or 6. Of course, you'll always have your occasional thing that screws you up, but a 4 or 6 will follow it almost every single time. There's your 4 6 4 6, 4 6 6 4, and then if it don't follow, it will the very next day. So there you go, sir. Hope that helps.